Hi everybody, I'm Sarah, Lonesome Glory, and welcome to my BreyerFest vlog. Today I'm going to talk to you about Breyer's Heroes Welcome Surprise Model, the new surprise for BreyerFest 2019. And in order to do that, I think I have to put on my conspiracy ears because that's pretty much what this video is one long conspiracy video. No one knows what the surprise model is. No one knows what it's going to be until 10 a.m. on Friday morning when the first group with tickets for the special run line goes through and opens those bags and tells us. But that's not going to stop us from trying to figure it out, is it? Let's get started. According to IdentifyYourBreyer.com, there are 172 different traditional molds. I only looked at traditional molds for this video because the surprise model at BreyerFest has never been anything but a traditional. With that as my starting place, I had to cut down the number of molds. 172 is just too many to work with. So I started off by getting rid of all of the foal molds. There are 21 of them. After that, I eliminated all pony molds, small molds, donkeys, that sort of thing. Molds that it wouldn't make sense for Breyer to choose, considering that the surprise model has always been a large horse mold. Next, I got rid of all molds that were going to be used for a 2019 BreyerFest special run. The Cleveland Bay, the American Saddlebred, Smart Chickalina, Roxy, Weather Girl, Emerson, Zippo Pine Bar, Silver, Dundee, the Shagya Arab, Indian Pony, Dewande, the new pony molds, Haflinger, and Bristol. The next round of eliminations were horses that had already been used as surprise models by Breyer in the past. The Quarter Horse Gelding, Ethereal, Flash, Roxy, Nakota, Lonesome Glory, Esprit, Latigo, and Smarty Jones. It's been tradition in the past that Breyer would not use a mold that was in the BreyerFest auction that year as the surprise model. Therefore, all of the released auction models for this year were eliminated. For those of you who've been following along with the math, we started with 172 traditional molds listed by IdentifyYourBreyer.com. From that, I subtracted 21 foal molds, 19 small horse or pony or donkey, long ear, that type of thing molds, and 3 draft horse molds. After that, 14 more molds were eliminated because they are being used this year as BreyerFest special runs in one capacity or another. After that, I eliminated the 9 previous molds that have been used as surprise models at BreyerFest. Then I looked at the horses that have been listed as auction models for this year and took away 12 more molds from there. Finally, I decided to go ahead and eliminate Vallegro as a special silent auction item. That left us with 93 molds that could potentially be available as the surprise model. This is where the conspiracy really kicks in. And if you've been following along up till this point, there's been a tiny bit of scientific formula that goes along with it. Now, everything is subjective. The subjective cuts came in 2 waves. First, the group I call the unpopular table. This is where Kemosabe wound up, and the Black Stallion, the Hanoverian, molds that it just wouldn't make sense for Breyer to choose. The second wave was the no way they'll pick it category. This was where Alborozo ended up, and the Mangalara Marchador. Horses that were new, or the molds were broken, or just simply aren't popular. Again, subjective. All of that leads us to dun da da da, the finalists. There are still 31 molds here, so I've got a lot of cutting to do. First off, I cut horses with those little plastic disc bases. So the next thing I cut were horses that I would consider exceptionally typey. Horses that really can only be 1 or 2 breeds. After that, I just had to make some decisions. What horses did I think they wouldn't use? I call this my gut instinct cut. Okay, everybody got your conspiracy ears on? We're down to the part where I just have to pick. Which horse do I think is going to be this year's Heroes Welcome Surprise Model? And that's a tough one. There are a lot of good molds that Breyer could choose. And if there's one thing I know from going to BreyerFest for so many years, it's that Breyer's going to pick something completely unexpected. But I've narrowed the list down to 5. I think these are the most likely based on popularity, based on the mold's ability to carry off a wide variety of colors, based on the fact that there haven't been a ton of colors released on each of the molds, and partially based on the fact that I just like a couple of them. I mentioned throughout this video that everything is subjective, and this is where it gets real subjective. So here are my final 5. First up is Carrick, Breyer's walking thoroughbred mold. I just like him. I like this horse, and he hasn't had a ton of releases. You can see part of my Carrick conga behind me, but I think he would look good in a variety of colors, and I think he would be a good choice, and I think he's a fairly popular mold. So, choice number 1, Carrick. No, that's not gonna work. Choice number 2, a little bit older horse, the Moody Andalusian Stallion. Part of the reason I like this horse for a choice is because he really does look heroic, and this is the Hero's Welcome horse. So he's got this big flowing tail, lots of mane, lots of personality. So who knows? But choice number 2. Choice number 3 is a newer mold, came out in the Premier Club a couple of years ago, and that would be Wyatt. One of the reasons that I'm not sure that Wyatt is the right pick is because of this base, and until last year with Smarty Jones, Breyer had never done a surprise model with a base. And Carrick's base is more elaborate than Smarty Jones. He's got 2 points where the hooves meet. It's a different situation. But he is a gorgeous model. He has a lot of colors that he could pull off. He hasn't been done on a lot of colors yet. It could be a lot of fun to try and collect these guys if he is the surprise model. So, choice number 3, Wyatt. Choice number 4 is a big guy, a heavy guy, and one that is a mold that's customizable. So Breyer could choose to do this one and do mismatching mane and tails like they did with Laredo 2 years ago. I think my choice number 4 is Brishan, the Gypsy Vanner. And I'm specifically going to pick Brishan as opposed to the Laredo version of him. I just think that all of the hair and the fuzz is a little more heroic and a little more fun. But that doesn't mean Breyer won't surprise me and choose to do Laredo with the flat mane, the braided mane. But we'll see. So, choice number 4, Brishan. And choice number 5 is one I think I picked last year that I thought was going to be the surprise model as well. I'm not gonna lie, I might be rooting for this horse a little bit, is Desatato. I love this mold. I think it's really pretty. I think that it's very bright. It can hold a lot of colors. I'm a little surprised it hasn't already been chosen. So if this guy is picked as the Hero's Welcome surprise model, it will not surprise me in the least. So this is choice number 5, Desatato. So now that I've shown you all 5 choices, my 5 finalists from my conspiracy video, I guess I have to pick one, don't I? And finally settle in. And while I think they're all good choices, and I'm not sure if the science is any good behind narrowing him down, I'm gonna go with Desatato. I think that he's due for a surprise model. I think that a rearing horse is just a heroic pose, so it might work well. He can be a number of breeds, so they could put a lot of different colors on him. And this is my choice. It may not be the one I want them to pick, because if they do put the surprise model on Desatato, I'm going to have to go try and find a bunch of them. But I do think it is the most likely. So here is my choice. Finally, at the end here, Desatato is my pick from the science of the conspiracy for the surprise model this year. Now you know about my pick for the Hero's Welcome surprise model at BreyerFest this year. What's yours? Do you have any special models that you would love to see as a surprise, or are you just hoping they don't use the one you conga? Let me know down in the comments, and thank you very much for watching. If you have any ideas to help me out to make these better, I would really appreciate hearing them. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and thank you for joining me for this conspiracy BreyerFest blog video.